What's up, everyone? This is Bill. You guys know what time it is. Today I'm just rocking this nice little Invicta bracelet. See there with the blue, little limited edition bracelet. Anyway, today we're going to be doing an oil change on the Kawasaki Z900. That's our shop bike, monster. It's got I think just like right around 1,000 miles on it, but we got it not really knowing too much about it, so got it with 500 miles on it. We put another 600 on it, something like that. So today we're gonna do its oil change, first oil change for me. I don't know if it's been changed before we got it or not, so that's why we're doing it. Just so we're starting fresh, we know what oil is going in it. We're just using the Kawasaki spec oil. I grabbed this kit on Amazon. I'll leave a link to it below. This should be good for 2017 to 2022 Kawasaki Z900. Okay, so we have our torque specs. I printed everything out just so I had them in front of me. We got our oil drain plug bolt. That guy is this one here, 21 foot-pounds. You know, and they said torque that oil filter down 13 foot-pounds. And then it says how much oil to use. So we'll be changing the filter also. So it's going to be 3.6 liters or 3.8 US quarts. And this oil kit comes with plenty. It comes with 4 quarts. So that'll put us right in the ballpark. We'll have a little bit left over. Okay. And over this bike has a sight glass, no dipstick. So we'll keep on checking the sight glass, make sure it looks right after we run the bike for a little while, after we get the new oil and oil filter in it. Okay, and this kit should come with everything you need. So we're gonna do a little oil change. Pretty basic stuff, but not a lot of information on YouTube. So figure we'll put this out there for everybody that has a 22 Z900. If we run into any issues, as always, we'll let you guys know. We are on the bike, Monster here. So pretty simple to do the oil changes on these bikes, just like the Ninja or the Z400 and Ninja 400. Filters here, drain plugs here. Okay, it's gonna be on the left-hand side towards the front of the motor. So we'll get it in the shop. We'll slide an oil pan underneath of it, and we'll start draining the oil. Remember, you're gonna have roughly around 3.5 to 4 quarts of oil in there. So you want to make sure you have a drain plug pan that's big enough. And then we're gonna replace that sealing washer on the drain plug bolt. We're gonna replace the O-ring on the oil filter. Make sure you lube up the oil filter O-ring. Make sure the old one comes off. Okay, we'll get it all done. Let's wheel her into the shop. Okay guys, so let's go over what all you get in this kit to do your oil change. Of course, you got a brand new filter. Remember, don't forget, make sure this O-ring is here and make sure you oil it. You just dip your finger in the oil that you drained out, dip your finger in it, run it around that. It's the easiest way to do it. And that's the part number for it, for the oil filter for this bike. Like I said, 3.8 quarts is what it takes. You got 4 quarts of the Kawasaki 10W40, 4-stroke engine oil. You have a replacement sealing washer. This is a crush washer that you use on the drain plug bolt. You do have a disposable funnel, so that's pretty cool. They even give you a funnel. Literally everything you need to do it other than the tools. We're going to need a 17 mil socket. That's going to be to remove that drain plug bolt. And then we're going to use this little guy here. There's many different types of oil filter removal tools. This one works pretty good for these smaller filters. As you crank on it and hold it with your hand, it kind of grips hold of that guy and it'll loosen it. It'll get it off. So that is all that you get. Okay, and then we'll be using this guy here to drain the oil. The trick to it is to get this guy underneath the bike. If we have to, we will remove this plastic fairing. It is just 2 little Allen head bolts, one back here and one up here. Okay, I'll probably do that because this actually we don't need to. There we go. We'll slide right under. Okay, so we'll just get under there. We'll crack that bolt loose, let some oil drain a little bit, and then we'll pull it all the way out. We just want to try to maintain it so it's not spraying all over the place. And then we'll crack our filter loose, get it off. We'll pop the cap on the oil filler side on the right hand side. That lets air in there, so that way it helps all that oil drain out. We did run the engine for about 10 minutes just so we have it warm. Okay, it's cooled down now, but it is still warm to the touch. So that means our engine oil will flow quite a bit better. Okay, so next step, crack the drain plug bolt, let some oil out, and then remove that filter. Okay, the first thing we're going to do before we even have this under here is we're just going to crack the tension loose on the bolt and on the oil filter. We're going to crack it loose, that way we're not trying to fight this thing getting under there with our tools. We're going to crack it loose, not enough to let anything drain out, but just so we know that it's cracked loose, so it'll come off much easier when we're underneath here with this in our way. Okay, so I'll put you guys up on the tripod. We'll run a little time lapse. You guys can see how I do this. Okay guys, so here's what we're finding out. I don't know if you see in the time lapse, we would revert to a set of those guys right there. They're always good to have around the shop. Some good little tool to grab hold of a stubborn oil filter. So you see we chewed up that oil filter, don't matter, we're replacing it. But that was because that oil filter was on there extremely tight. Extremely tight, way over tightened. Okay, and it says high flow filtro. Yeah, not excited about that. Man, on these bikes, you should be using factory OEM Kawasaki filter and the Kawasaki recommended oil. Can't stress it enough. Down the road, when you run into problems, you're going to be like, I don't know why, something failed in the motor, whatever. And you're going to find out like your oil filter failed or something stupid happened, and it's because you wanted to save a couple bucks and get yourself a high flow filtro oil filter and some jankety oil. That is definitely not Kawasaki oil in there either. So that's why we're doing this. You know, it's always a good idea when you buy a bike, even if it's got a couple hundred miles on it. I mean, this thing was brand new, only 500 miles, but it had an owner before us. So, and they did, like we've already shown in other videos, they did not take care of this bike. They didn't care about it at all. So, we're fixing all that now. So that's one of the first things we're going to do is change that oil. Put clean oil in it. We know what's in it. Kawasaki oil filter, new drain plug bolt, or sealing washer on the bolt. Okay, so I have the filler cap off on the other side there. So now we will just get our bolt back in, get our new filter on. Remember, don't forget to lube up that O-ring. You can just use some of that jankety oil, or use some, probably use some new oil. Get a little bit on your finger, wipe it around that rubber O-ring. Thread that O-ring on there, clean up any spots that you see that are a drip. Start the bike, let it idle. Check your oil levels. Make sure everything's topped off the way it's supposed to be. Going by that sight glass over there. Okay, so remember, 21 foot-pounds, and if you're torquing it down, 13 foot-pounds. Hand tightened is fine, okay? And then thread your cap back on once you got your oil in there. Okay, so we'll do all that and see how she goes. Okay guys, so we've ran the bike for 10 minutes. We added the rest of the oil that we needed. And now we are looking, just checking to see our sight glass. How are we looking?
Good.
Is it right at the top of the high mark or just a hair below it?
Just a hair below.
Okay, perfect. So that is our 3.8 quarts of oil. Okay. This video, I really hope this helps somebody out. If you want to change the oil on your Kawasaki Z900, this will cover the 17 to the 22 model. Like I said, I showed torque specs at the beginning. The price for this kit was $57.49. That was after tax and everything here in Washington. So I'll leave a link in the description below to go check out the kit on Amazon. It comes with everything you need. And then I wanted to share with you a little trick that I use. So, you know, it requires 3.8 quarts. So I'll take that extra little bit of oil and I'll pour it out in a little glass that has measuring on it. So you see this glass here is really cool. It measures in milliliters, tablespoons, teaspoons, ounces. So I'll fill this glass about halfway up, and then I just got to pour all 4 of those quarts in there, and I already got a little bit of oil setting aside. So that way, you see how we did, we tip the bike up, check it, you know, see how the oil looks. We run it for 10 minutes, let everything get circulated through the motor. We shut it down, we let it sit for about 5 minutes. We come back and we check that again, and now we can just add a little bit at a time from our glass here. So that's a little trick that I've always used, changing oil on any bike. Works really good. You know, I may not talk about it a lot, you know, because I always forget that, you know, it's something that maybe not a lot of people don't know how to, or don't understand that they can do, or just don't do it, you know. But that's what I always do, is I set some oil aside. So now we have our 4 quarts. We can put all 4 in there, and we know that we've already taken out to compensate for that 3.8. So that, you know, little bit of oil left over that we're not going to use most likely. And then we always keep, for all of the bikes that we work on, you know, we try to always stick with that factory OEM oil unless the customer is requesting different, you know. But so we keep a bottle of the Kawasaki oil laying around. We put an X on it. That lets us know that that is our oil for topping off, you know. So that's not a brand new bottle, but what's in this glass can go in that jug. It's brand new oil. You know, it's not a full bottle. So that lets us know it's not a full bottle, but if we just need to add a little bit of oil to a bike and it's Kawasaki, then that's the jug that we'll grab, add a little bit of oil, whatever we need to do, you know. So that's what we always try to do here. It really helps out with, you know, keeping things maintained and having oil around to use if we should ever, you know, have to put a little oil in a bike and whatnot. Anyway, I hope that all helps somebody out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget, links in the description below to the oil change kit, and then you can go check out our website, BLRTUNING.TECH. We have parts coming out for the Z900. They'll probably be out as soon as you see this video. And then we do have the Power Commander. We can do tuning on these bikes as well. Okay, so if you have questions about tuning, you can hit me up. There's an email address below to get a hold of me, and all the information, all the links down below to get a hold of us for tuning and whatnot, or check out our website. Anyways, catch you guys next one. Peace.